The thought of the Earth's inner core suddenly switching directions sounds like the perfect pitch for the next blockbuster. But it's not. It's real science, and it's happening right in front of us. Deep inside our planet, a mysterious dance is unfolding, one that's captured the attention of scientists and sparked headlines worldwide. But before you start prepping for doomsday, let's dive into what's really going on and why it matters. Let's peel back the layers of the Earth to explore a recent scientific discovery that's shaking up our understanding of our planet's inner workings. We'll go into the center of the Earth, unpack the latest findings, and answer the burning question that's on everyone's mind at this point: should we be worried? But first, let's get our bearings. When we talk about the Earth's structure, we're dealing with layers upon layers of complexity. Imagine the Earth as a cosmic onion, with each layer telling a different story of our planet's history and ongoing evolution. Starting from the outside, we have the crust, the thin, rocky layer we call home. Dive deeper, and you hit the mantle, a thick layer of hot, dense rock that makes up most of the Earth's volume. Keep going, and you reach the outer core, a swirling sea of liquid iron and nickel. But it's the innermost layer that's stealing the spotlight today, the inner core. This solid sphere at the heart of our planet is a beast of its own. Made primarily of iron and nickel, it's about 70% the size of the moon. And here's where things get wild. It's hot. Really hot. We're talking temperatures rivaling the surface of the sun, around 5,400 degrees Celsius or 9,800 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a place where the laws of physics seem to bend, creating conditions we can barely imagine. But why should we care about this ball of metal we can never visit? Well, that's where the story gets interesting. You see, the inner core isn't just sitting there, it's moving, rotating independently from the rest of the planet. And recent studies suggest it might be changing its tune. Now, when we say the inner core is rotating, we're not talking about it spinning like a top. It's more like a subtle drift, a gentle turn that's different from how the rest of the Earth moves. Scientists call this differential rotation, and it's been a subject of fascination since it was first proposed in the 1990s. For years, researchers thought the inner core was in a state of super-rotation, spinning slightly faster than the Earth's surface. Picture it like a hamster wheel inside a hamster ball, with the inner wheel turning a bit quicker than the outer ball. It wasn't much, maybe a degree or so faster each year, but in the world of geophysics, that's a big deal. But here's where things get slightly more interesting. In 2023, a study dropped a bombshell. Scientists analyzing seismic data noticed something strange. It looked like the inner core had not only slowed down, but might have actually reversed direction. Talk about a plot twist. According to this research, the inner core's rotation relative to the Earth's surface went something like this. Before 2009, spinning a bit faster than the Earth's surface. Around 2009, slowed down or maybe even paused. After 2009, possibly started rotating in the opposite direction. Now, before you start picturing the Earth's core doing a 180 like a car in an action movie, remember we're talking about incredibly subtle changes over long periods. These researchers suggest this might be part of a 70-year cycle, a back-and-forth oscillation that's been quietly happening beneath our feet. But science is never simple. Other studies have proposed different ideas. Some suggest a 6-year cycle of changes, while others think the core might have just had a single lurch in its motion. It's like trying to figure out a dance routine by watching someone's shadow from really far away. We're working with limited information and a lot of educated guesses. So how do scientists even study something buried 5,000 kilometers beneath our feet? They can't exactly drill down and take a look. Instead, they rely on some pretty clever techniques. Studying the Earth's inner core is like trying to solve a puzzle blindfolded. Scientists can't see it directly, so they have to get creative. Their main tool? Seismic waves. Imagine dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples spread out in a predictable pattern, right? Earthquakes work similarly, sending waves through the Earth. These waves behave differently depending on what they pass through. By analyzing how these waves change as they move through the planet, scientists can piece together what's happening in the core. One particularly clever technique involves using what are called earthquake doublets. These are pairs of earthquakes that happen in the same spot, but years apart. By comparing how the seismic waves from these quakes travel through the Earth, researchers can detect tiny changes in the inner core's behavior. But seismic waves aren't the only tool that geophysicists use. They also look at Earth's magnetic field. See, the swirling motion in the outer core generates our planet's magnetic field. Changes in the inner core can influence this process. So by studying the magnetic field, scientists can infer what's happening deeper down. There's also a technique called free oscillations, which is like listening to the Earth ring like a giant bell after a major earthquake. These vibrations can tell us about the planet's internal structure. Back to the main question. If the Earth's core is changing direction, should we be worried? Are we in for massive earthquakes or a flip in the magnetic poles? The short answer is probably not. At least not in any way we'd notice in our daily lives. Remember, we're talking about changes happening over decades or even centuries. It's not like flipping a switch. That said, these core rotation changes could have some subtle, long-term effects. Let's break it down. First, there's the Earth's magnetic field. The core plays a crucial role in generating this field, which protects us from harmful solar radiation. Changes in core rotation could potentially affect the strength or behavior of the magnetic field over very long periods. Then there's the length of our days. Believe it or not, changes in the core's rotation might influence how fast the whole Earth spins. But we're talking milliseconds here, nothing you'd notice without extremely precise atomic clocks. If by this time your imagination is running wild with visions of catastrophic Earth changes, let's clear up some misconceptions. You might hear sensationalized claims about the core's rotation causing earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. But that's not how it works. These geological events are primarily driven by plate tectonics in the crust and mantle, not by the core's rotation. And contrary to what some doomsday predictions might suggest, we're not facing any immediate danger from these core changes. Life on Earth's surface carries on, blissfully unaware of the subtle dance happening thousands of kilometers below. So if it's not causing disasters, why do scientists care so much about the inner core's rotation? Well, it's all about understanding our planet as a whole. The Earth is a complex system, with each part influencing the others in ways we're still discovering. By studying the core, we gain insights into Earth's formation, its internal heat engine, and even how other planets might behave. What about the current scientific consensus on inner core rotation? While there's agreement that the inner core can rotate differently from the rest of the planet, the details are still up for debate. Some researchers support the idea of a 70-year oscillation cycle, while others propose different timelines or mechanisms. What scientists do agree on is that the inner core's rotation isn't constant. It changes over time, influenced by complex interactions with the mantle and outer core. They also agree that studying these changes is crucial for understanding Earth's magnetic field generation and other planetary processes. But here's the thing. Studying the inner core is hard, really hard. We're dealing with extreme pressures and temperatures that we can't replicate in labs. All our data comes from indirect measurements, which leaves room for different interpretations. This is why you might hear conflicting reports about the inner core's behavior. It's not that scientists are disagreeing for the sake of it. They're working with limited data and trying to piece together a complex puzzle. As research continues, new findings might challenge or refine our current understanding. That's the beauty of science. It's always evolving as we gather more information. So, should we be worried about the Earth's inner core changing direction? In the grand scheme of things, not really. But should we be excited about what this research tells us about our planet? Absolutely. So let's recap. The Earth's inner core, that ball of solid metal at the heart of our planet, isn't just sitting still. It's moving, rotating independently from the rest of the Earth. And recent research suggests its rotation might be changing, possibly even reversing direction as part of a long-term cycle. While this is fascinating from a scientific perspective, it's not something that's going to impact our daily lives. We're not facing any immediate dangers or dramatic changes to life on Earth's surface. The ground beneath your feet isn't going to suddenly shift, and the sky isn't falling. What this research does show us is just how dynamic and complex our planet really is. Even in its deepest, most inaccessible parts, the Earth is constantly changing, evolving, surprising us. It's a reminder that there's still so much to learn about the world we live on. For scientists, these findings open up new avenues of research. They challenge us to refine our models of Earth's interior, to develop new tools and techniques for studying the unseeable. And who knows, these insights might even help us understand other planets in our solar system and beyond. Now you might be wondering, what's next? Well, that's the exciting part. Science is an ongoing process, and this is just one chapter in the story of Earth's inner core. Researchers will continue to gather data, propose new theories, and debate their findings. Each discovery brings us closer to understanding the intricate workings of our planet. So the next time you hear a headline about the Earth's core doing something unexpected, remember this: it's not a cause for alarm, but an invitation to curiosity. It's a chance to appreciate the incredible, ever-changing planet we call home. And here's where you come in. The more we understand about our planet, the better equipped we are to protect it and live in harmony with it. So stay curious, keep asking questions, whether it's reading science news, watching documentaries, or even pursuing studies in earth sciences. There are countless ways to engage with this fascinating field. If you found this video interesting, why not dive deeper? Check out some of the scientific papers we've mentioned. Look up the researchers doing this groundbreaking work. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.